Welcome to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is October 15th. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Just a reminder, if you like the show, hit that share button. Come on, if you're watching the show, hit the share button. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Let me know you like the show, too. And also, you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And if you do comment on live, I may actually respond to your comments. So please leave comments if you can. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you, of course, by Investor Schooling. You can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, on today's show, we got some good stuff coming up. We're going to be talking about the market update, of course. We're going to be talking about the FDA and J&J. We're going to be talking about how they're easing travel restriction, Bitcoin's ETFs. Clinton is hospitalized. Oh no. Also, Facebook stock, and of course, the wrap-up. Hey, cool. What an awesome week. The Dow actually did well this week. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. So the Dow is up today about 383 points. The S&P is up 33 points. And the NASDAQ is up 74 points. That is very, very good. I love it. It's fantastic, right? And if you watched yesterday, I told you that today was going to be a good day, and it was. And I'm going to tell you why. It was just so obvious that the financial institutions like Goldman Sachs were going to crush earnings, and this was set the stage by the other banks yesterday doing their great earnings reports. So retail sales posted a surprise increase as well in September, and that was raising 0.7%. Economists polled by Dow Jones were expecting a 0.2% decline. So it went up 0.7% instead of a 2% decline, 0.2% decline. The inflation environment and concerns about supply chains have not put a strong dent in retail sales, said Young Yu Ma, chief investment strategist at BMO Wealth Management. Consumers are acclimating to higher prices. So far, that hasn't resulted in meaningful fall-off demand, but this willingness to absorb higher prices is not unlimited. So eventually, the consumers are one day going to say, hey, I've had enough. The S&P 500 today also posted its best day performance for a long time, up 33 points, and that's awesome. All right, cool. So let's talk a little bit about hey, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today. All right, there we go. How the FDA and J&J, how the FDA unanimously voted that they voted to approve the J&J booster shot. And look, this is what I've been saying all week. If you've been watching this show all week, I've been telling you over and over again that this is obvious that J&J was going to be approved. The tells were in the fact that several reports came out of this week on how the other company's booster shot was better than J&J's. Basically, those reports were not verified, and the studies were not even peer-reviewed. It was obvious they were trying to either boost Moderna's stock or push down J&J stock before the announcement today. And that's typical stock manipulation, and you could see right through it, and I saw right through it, and I told you guys today that J&J was a play, and I think today it's up about, let's just take a quick look and see where it is. Yeah, it actually finished up a little bit. Here we go. It finished up $1.25, which is great, so it's actually pretty good. You can actually see that, how it did today. So it's great to know that J&J actually pushed up. I had a couple of calls in there, and I'm pretty happy about that. And look, it is a great place still. Earnings reporting date on J&J is next week on the 19th, and I believe it's going to be also a good report. Hey, are you ready for your booster yet? Hey, look, it's just another shot in the dark to eliminate coronavirus. I'm sorry, did I say shot in the dark? I think I really meant shot in the arm. Sorry, I guess I was kind of thinking out loud. Okay. All right, let's talk about what's next. Let's talk about easing travel restrictions. So finally, the Biden administration is going to lift travel restrictions on those entering the country. With proof of vaccination, foreigners can now enter the U.S., and they don't have to worry about it anymore. Of course, they still have to wear masks, and they still have to, whatever, So this was a restriction that Trump actually had put in place on non-U.S. citizens who had recently been in Europe, Brazil, South Africa, and elsewhere in early November of 2020. And this is good news, basically, for the travel business, as now airlines and other transportation giants will have another source of customers that are no longer restricted to travel, and this ban is technically slated to be lifted on November 8th, assuming there are no new cases or no whatever. All right. I wonder if the border basically in Texas will now be closed. Up until now, it was the only way to enter the U.S. without any restrictions. The Mexicans, Haitians, and others who were being wrangled by federal agents on horseback. Did you see those pictures? Oh, boy. By the way, are they now allowed to enter through Canada's border again? I don't know. Anyway, let's get to reality. Well, either way, I say that the airline stocks will be a better and better play as the dum-dums in Washington start removing restrictions and other stupid government overreach mandates that are pretty much useless. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin's ETF. Ooh, this is kind of cool. The Securities and Exchange Commission is set to allow the first U.S. Bitcoin futures exchange traded funds to start trading next week. Ooh, this is just really awesome. It's a landmark victory for cryptocurrency industry that has long sought permissions from Wall Street's top regulators for a long time. The fund launch will mark the conclusion of a years-long crusade by almost $7 trillion ETF industry to persuade the SEC to research and sanction an ETF related to the popular cryptocurrency. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually looking forward to this fund and others to open. I believe it'll be a good place to put money. However, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be super volatile. I'm really curious to see what the stock options are going to be on this because it's going to be a lot of fun. As for Bitcoin itself, this might actually be the start of its anticipated climb to 100,000 as it reached for 62,000 some point today for the first time in months. Even Ethereum is up today to about 3,900 at one point. And come on, Shiba. Let's go, Shiba. All I need is 1 cent. I just need to go to 1 cent. How many out there want Shiba to go to 1 cent? Put out there in the comments that you want Shiba to go to 1 cent. Come on now. Because if it goes to 1 cent, I'm worth $4.7 million in just my Shiba alone. That'd be pretty cool, right? All right. Let's take a quick break, and we will come back in a minute and talk more.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host again, Larry Steinhouse. And so far, we've been talking about this awesome market today. Wow, 380 points today, 500 something points yesterday. Wow, I'm pretty excited. The market's actually starting to show some signs of life as we start to enter this earnings season. We see the Dow is up 382 points today, the S&P 33 points, and the NASDAQ almost 74 points. Phenomenal. All right. We've been also talking about how FDA and J&J, it was so obvious that the FDA was going to approve the booster shot. They had no other choice. I mean, it's pretty clear, right? We also talked about President Braindead easing travel restrictions, and that will actually let some companies like American Airlines and Delta Airlines have a new pool of customers. And we talked about Bitcoin's ETF, and I'm so glad that Mike put out there he can't wait for Shiba to hit 1 cent. And we had Barbara say that my joke was corny. My other joke, I think it was the shot in the dark versus shot in the arm joke. I think she said that was corny. Come on, it's pretty funny, Barbara. Tell me about it. All right, we're going to be talking about some other cool stuff as we get going. So let's go. So let's talk a little bit about Bill Clinton. All right. So for those of you who don't know, I was actually a fan of Bill Clinton and voted for him twice in 92 and 96. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but seriously, politics wasn't as crazy then as it is now. In fact, voting for him was not like voting for his evil life mate. I thought he was a likable guy and definitely helped boost the economy at the time. So if you watch the economy at the time, it was really great. But yesterday he was admitted to the hospital for what the news reports as a non-COVID infection. I can't believe it. Somebody actually is admitted to a hospital without COVID? Is this even possible? I mean, this must be a great sign. It means that hospitals are doing other things besides treating COVID patients. Yeah, I know. They've been the whole time, but the news media makes it appear that they're really not treating anything but COVID. All right, but here's the interesting part. I'm sure he'll be okay, and I wanted to comment on the fact, again, that the news media had just had to use the term non-COVID infection. Was he also admitted with a non-heart attack or a non-cancer or maybe a non-colostomy? I mean, whatever. I don't understand. It just annoyed me. I had to vent about it, and still, I just wanted to talk about Bill Clinton because I thought you guys would find it interesting. All right, let's get back to making money, however, because that's what we do here. Let's talk about Facebook stock and Facebook stock woes. So Facebook went in the opposite of the market today, and it dropped about 5 points in the morning. Apparently, there's another whistleblower who testified against the social media giant. Sophie Zhang, a former data scientist at Facebook, says she was fired by the company after highlighting its alleged failure to combat election interference in Honduras and various other countries. Stop it. Just stop it. Facebook is not causing elections to change. Facebook is just posting the opinions of people who post it. The continuing plot of this BS is causing Facebook stock to drop. However, the funny part, I gotta be honest, these aren't the reasons for the platform is gonna have trouble in the future. These little things that this disgruntled ex-employee are complaining about are pretty much meaningless. When Facebook management and board wakes up and realizes that they've been played by the liberals and Democrats in a way to help them get elected and bash the opposing side, it's going to be too late. Look, I'm personally even losing interest in Facebook. If you're watching this on Facebook, great, but I'm sure you are too. Facebook continues to use the phrase, what's on your mind. However, if I truly post what's on my mind, I will surely be put in Facebook jail. That's why most of my posts now are about my business or about motivation or about this show. This show is great, actually. Anyway, I like the stock going into earnings, and I believe it'll probably recover nicely in the next 2 weeks as we go into earnings. I just bought a little bit more right before the show started because I thought it was actually pretty cool. If you're on Facebook and watching this, put on your post right now on your page, "Let's go Brandon." I love that. It's so motivational. Let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. That's really motivational, don't you think? So put it up there. There you go. Put it in the comments too. That'll be fun. All right. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the market next week and how you are going to make some more money next week. All right? All right. We'll see you in a minute. Investor Schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of.
Investor Schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And in case you didn't know, this show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. And not only will you learn stock options and real estate, but you'll also learn how to be a really, really bad actor. Because those were our students in that last commercial. And I'm watching it again and I'm going, oh my God, we are really bad actors. So if you want to learn how to be a really bad actor and make a lot of money at the same time, come to Investor Schooling. Hey, that makes sense, right? All right, so far we've been discussing things like the market update, and what an awesome day. The Dow is up 382 points. The S&P is up 33 points. The NASDAQ is up almost 74 points. That's just really, really cool, all right? And we've been talking about how the FDA has approved J&J's booster shot. And I told you this was going to happen. I told you the last couple of days that absolutely this was going to happen because of the tell of all the other booster shots, right? You can always tell, and I've noticed this before, I've noticed this over and over again, that if you follow the financial news carefully enough, they're going to give you the clues as to what's going to happen as long as you understand how to read those clues. And that's some of the things that we teach in Investor Schooling, some of the things that I teach, and some of the things that I do, because it's kind of fun. And if you watch the show, you'll also get an insight to it too. We also talked about the fact that they're going to be easing travel restrictions, and you no longer have to enter the country through Mexico. I'm sorry, not through Mexico, through Texas. You can now enter the country anywhere because you're going to be allowed to. Also, we talked about Bitcoin's ETFs. We talked about the fact that one of my favorite presidents, yes, one of my favorite, now my favorite, you all know who my favorite president is. He'll be president again next time. My favorite president, one of my favorite presidents, Clinton, was hospitalized. We talked about the fact that Facebook stock is being beaten down by ex-employees who are saying, hey, I can make a lot of money being an ex-employee of Facebook by saying that Facebook is terrible. Well, whatever. Of course, let's get into earnings season. And don't forget, let's go earnings season. Let's go Brandon. Let's go earnings season. Let's go Brandon. Let's go earnings season. Let's go Brandon. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I love it. All right. Some good plays still exist. I want to let you know. Look for more earnings plays next week as we have Tesla, J&J, and Netflix reporting on Tuesday. And these should be good. When I look at it, I go, Tesla will probably do okay. J&J, I got a feeling will pop. Netflix is an anomaly to me. I'm not quite sure what Netflix is going to do. Netflix is always an anomaly. Anyway, bringing me back. It's an anomaly. So I'm not quite sure what Netflix is going to do, only because it's weird. It's like versus how many new people signed up for it versus the price. You know, Netflix used to be $8, now it's $20. So there may be some profit in there. Actually, maybe a lot of profit in there. So we'll see how it goes. There's also a lot of competition for Netflix, so let's see. I don't know how that's going to go. I also took a look, of course, at the, we talked about crypto having a new ETF, and that's driving the price up. And I would expect Bitcoin to break records this weekend as it heads for it as I speak. It was over 60, hitting 62. Gold and silver, well, I don't know. Hello, gold and silver, where are you? Gold and silver, hello, where are you? I haven't seen you in the news at all. You're doing terrible. It's not that great. I don't even understand it, but I will tell you, I would keep holding it. I would keep collecting it, and soon you will definitely be happy about that if you keep doing that. So I want to thank you again. Don't forget, let's go Brandon. Thanks for watching Money Chat Now. Did you hit that share button yet? Hey, Mike, did you hit that share button? I see you watching this show. How about you, Barbara? Did you hit that share button? I know the joke was corny, but you still got to hit the share button. All right, come share this gold. Hit that like button. Let me know you enjoy the show. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. From time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thank you for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you here on Monday, and we will bring you some new earnings reports. I'm so excited. See ya.